Okay. I mean, I can get everybody. I'll get everybody to sit down. So we do a testing. What do you want to do? Good evening, everyone. We're going to invite you to come and sit down and join us so we can start our graduation ceremony. We're going to invite everyone to come and sit down and join us so we can start the graduation ceremony, please. Well, I don't recall us approving wine at your graduation ceremony, but this group of grad fellows has broken all kinds of rules, so it's sort of in keeping with the last few years. I say all that in jest. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Markian Fetishchak. I'm president of Walking Mountain Science Center, and this is truly a special occasion in addition to this being our organization's 25th, we're also here to celebrate this fabulous ceremony and our current cohort of Foley graduate fellows graduating. So I would like to welcome all the friends, family, staff, and board members that are here. I know that family traveled from far away, so we appreciate the effort. This really is a special occasion. So former Foley fellows are here. Thank you all for being here. It's really wonderful to see you here showing your support. I'd like to begin by thanking those individuals who make this program possible. And even though they couldn't be with us tonight, I wanted to recognize their wonderful support. Craig Foley, who generously supports the Foley Graduate Fellowship, and Ben and Pam Peternell, who contribute towards the cost of graduate credits at UNC. I would also like to thank, we'll give them a round of applause. We wouldn't be here without them. I would also like to thank our graduate faculty and advisors, Chris Cohen, Dustin Hall, Laura Carlson, Carrie Anderson, Christy Bellardo, and with UNC, Teresa Higgins, Jennifer Parrish, and Susan Keenan. And special thanks to our graduate programs director and senior faculty advisor, Jamie Squires. And finally, I'd like to thank our hardworking Foley graduate fellows and the reason we're all here, Kaylin, Rachel, Anna, and Natalie. Congratulations. You've worked hard to achieve this milestone, and more importantly, you embody, the mission of Walking Mountains Science Center. The heart of Walking Mountains' work is with children to awaken, wonder, and inspire the next generation. And I can't think of more meaningful and important work, and certainly our mission is more important than ever. I know firsthand the impact that Walking Mountains programs and our educators have on our local school children. I hear about it all the time from parents, teachers, grandparents, and other community members. I also know from personal observations, you might have not thought that I was watching you, but I was. Because we all know what appeared in the backyard one day. I happened to notice it. So I know from personal observations the care and concern, the intention and pride you've all put into your work with your students. Thank you. Congratulations for a job incredibly well done, and thank you for so beautifully embodying and fulfilling our mission. And now, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Kim Langmaid, and the best dressed person here. And for those of you that don't know, Kim is our wonderful founder who started this organization with a few $100s in her bank account in 1997 when she incorporated as a nonprofit and started running the first programs in 1998. So a fabulous milestone celebrating our 25th anniversary. And Kim is also the professor of sustainability studies at Colorado Mountain College. Welcome, Kim.
Okay, well, thank you, Marky. And I told Jamie that I really would only break out this magnificent regalia for her and all four of you, okay? It might never happen again. Okay. Walking Mountains President Fiduciak, Board of Directors who are here, Graduate Program Director Squires, Senior Program Director Carlson, Youth Programs Director Cohen, esteemed photographer as well, distinguished program leaders, educators, naturalists, employees, family, and friends, and most especially our four Foley graduate fellows, Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel. It's my humble privilege to celebrate with you this evening and mark an important academic and professional milestone with you: the completion of your master's degree in science education from Walking Mountains and the University of Northern Colorado. We are here in these majestic Rocky Mountains, embraced by this beautiful Buck Creek Valley and the Tang campus. And I want to acknowledge the land and its history. The indigenous Ute, or Nooch, peoples who have been stewards of this place for thousands of years, and more recently, the Nottingham family homesteaders and the community of volunteers, generous donors, and staff members who work hard to enrich the special sense of place we experience. Also, all the other beautiful types of living beings in this place: quaking aspen, Douglas fir, alder, willow, larkspur, flycatcher, magpie, swallow, mule deer, mountain lion, black bear, red-tailed hawk, moose, and many other enhance our lives and remind us of our humanity. This year marks the 25th anniversary of Walking Mountains, and I believe it's its 18th year supporting graduate students developing their educational practices, providing place-based outdoor environmental natural science learning experiences, connecting youth with nature, creating future environmental stewards, and striving for a more sustainable community. This is hard work. All of us at Walking Mountains, all of us here this evening, share a history, some kind of connection with this place and the organization's mission to awaken a sense of wonder and inspire environmental stewardship and sustainability through natural science education. You got it. And the organization's vision for an Eagle Valley where everyone understands the science of nature and is inspired to take action as an environmental steward. We might also find shared connections with Walking Mountains' commitments to its 5 stated values of stewardship, community, innovation, learning, and leadership. And importantly, our dedication to working for more justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion throughout the organization and its programs. I know from talking with Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel earlier this summer that they have taken these commitments to heart and worked to advance these values through their teaching, their curriculum development for future programs, their action research projects, and their broader community connections. Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel, you have changed people's lives during your time here. You've changed the lives of the children you've taught, the lives of your colleagues here, and many more. And I am sure each of your own 4 lives have also changed, and you have grown as you have influenced others. This cycle of reciprocity, the process of changing the lives of others and being changed in the process, I think is one of the special appeals and gifts of being and becoming an educator. Although we can evaluate and assess the impacts of our educational offerings, we may never really know the long-term reach of our gifts to others, the ripple effects of our efforts as educators. The significance of the unique place-based learning experiences you've given youth here in the Eagle Valley cannot be underestimated. You've truly worked to cultivate, quote, the practice of the wild and the experience of mountains walking. 25 years ago, when I started this organization, it was an outcome of my own master's degree research on the power of place-based environmental education to foster a sense of belonging and stewardship within one's home community, including the more than human land community. At the time, I was influenced by Gary Snyder's timeless and remarkable book called The Practice of the Wild, and in particular his essay, Blue Mountains Constantly Walking. For me, Snyder's explanation of a practice of the wild is the foundation for the practice of place-based environmental science education and stewardship of our shared natural world. In Snyder's book, the meaning, practice of the wild, is about cultivating or practicing our shared experience of interconnectedness and interdependence within the larger natural world. To really understand that we are not separate from the more than human world. We humans occupy a niche, among many other beings we share this planet with. So how do we practice a kind of attentiveness that encourages us to perceive ourselves and our world in a way that recognizes all life and the larger natural systems and cycles we are embedded within and dependent upon, so that we can actually experience mountains walking? The flowing of mountains, the rock cycles, water cycles, seasonal rhythms, the migrations of sediments, the movements of forests, the flying, swimming, wriggling, plodding, and pronking of so many other wild beings who live here with us. Striving for this experience of seeing mountains walking is what Snyder means by the practice of the wild, and in my mind, it is also the essence of Walking Mountains' place-based field science programs. As environmental educators, we practice certain ways of teaching. Our frameworks and student learning outcomes are situated amongst a much broader global professional community of environmental educators, science educators, sustainability educators, and researchers within those fields. Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel are among this larger professional community of educational scholar practitioners. They have deepened their practice and shared their research discoveries to improve and enhance the practice of the wild. Research within the professional field of environmental education is vast. The research tends to explore a spectrum of experiences called the awareness to action continuum. This continuum can be considered developmentally, starting with young children in pre-kindergarten and working through adolescent development into adulthood. As environmental educators, we begin with fostering basic awareness of the natural world and build upon that awareness to develop students' knowledge, attitudes, skills, and their abilities to take action. This continuum is both simple and complex. It is simple in that it begins by recognizing the essential experience for children to spend more time outdoors in natural settings engaged in free play and exploration. The more time spent outdoors making positive connections with the natural world, the better. The awareness to action continuum is also complex because it recognizes there are many other situational aspects and influences on young people's lives and learning capacities. And as educators, we need to try and understand those too. Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel have delved into these pedagogical complexities, and deepened our understanding of opportunities to enhance the practice of the wild here at Walking Mountains. When I met with the four of you and Jamie earlier this summer, you shared some things about your past experiences, what drew you to pursue a career in outdoor environmental science education, and why you sought out the graduate fellowship here. You also told me about some of your curiosities, special areas of passion and insight within your personal teaching practices that you focused on with your students and your colleagues during your time here. You four made an impression on me. Your commitment to your teaching, your relationships, your support of one another's learning, your adventures together, and especially your desire to advance opportunities for equity and inclusion within your programs, creating new offerings, new gifts for youth and family within the Eagle Valley, and tapping into your special talents and the potential. In a recent article titled "The Paths to Connectedness," published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, the authors conducted a literature review to answer one of the questions we're constantly asking ourselves here at Walking Mountains, and that is, how does connectedness to nature form? Among their findings, the authors highlight these situational contexts that you know about that lead to connectedness to nature. They reveal where and when connectedness tends to flourish and where it tends to struggle. And I heard about some of those experiences during our conversation together. It can really struggle when it's very snowy and cold and wet. Each of your research presentations and projects is integral with this broader desire for our larger professional community and our society to understand the answer to that question about connectedness to nature. The answers to this question are essential to the survival of our living world. The four of you were interested in exploring ideas that can improve and enhance the practice of the wild. As you set out on your action research projects, you stepped into the unknown. You took risks. You supported one another. You developed new curricula and lesson plans and really fun and creative ways to collect data with your students. You were tenacious. You are resilient researchers. When I attended your action research presentations earlier this month, I witnessed your gifts of humility, intelligence, professionalism, critical thinking, scholarship, and confidence. Now, tonight, on this special occasion, we are here to express our gratitude and congratulations in recognition of your teaching practices, your gifts of learning and nature connectedness that ripple throughout our community. As we humans make transitions, it can be helpful to have a North Star to guide us, perhaps a set of values that serve as guideposts, or a moral compass, or a favorite mantra. Something that we deeply connect with to help us navigate the uncertainties of the future. One of the mantras that has guided me through my own professional life is a quote from Terry Tempest Williams, a writer, educator, conservationist, and activist whose work is rooted in the American West. She was present at the Teton Science Schools when I was a resident graduate student like you, but 27 years ago, and developing my own field teaching practice. Terry's quote, "The most radical act you can commit is to stay home," has served as a guidepost for me as I have repeatedly committed to developing and evolving my practice as an educator. This quote, "The most radical act you can commit is to stay home," doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay in one place. Rather, I take this quote as an invitation to recognize the importance of experiencing home wherever you are, stepping into the homes of others with humility and curiosity in both the human and the more than human world, and cultivating a deep sense of place wherever you find yourself. As you know, the word ecology has its roots in the ancient word oikos, which refers to the family and home. Ecology is the study of our shared home within the natural world. So I encourage you to be ecological citizens, to stay home wherever you go and continue your practices of the wild, cultivating connectedness and experience of interdependence with nature. Also, when we met earlier this summer, you shared some of your desires and plans for your next professional steps. You shared pieces of your visions for the future. Don't underestimate the power of your vision. Within your capacities as educators, your visions for yourselves and your visions for the current and future students you may come across. Vision is essential to our practice as educators, as lifelong learners. This year, the Global Council on Science and the Environment proposed 8 key competencies in sustainability. These are needed by any undergraduate or graduate student of a degree in sustainability. And I know, although your degree is not in sustainability, rather it's in science education, I honestly believe you have accomplished these key competencies in sustainability. In general, a sustainability competency is defined as an individual disposition, comprising knowledge and skills as well as motives and attitudes that allow people to successfully complete a task, a complex sustainability task. We can also think of these as the head, heart, and hands of sustainability. These 8 key competencies are: 1, the values competency, which emphasizes justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. 2, the systems thinking competency. 3, the strategic thinking competency. 4, the interpersonal competency. 5, the intrapersonal competency. 6, the implementation competency. 7, the integrated problem-solving competency. And 8, the future thinking's competency. And as you think across your past few years here, you can see that you have accomplished all of these. But this last competency, the future thinking's competency, is what I'd like us to consider. Anna, Kaylin, Natalie, and Rachel, your vision to pursue a graduate degree with Walking Mountains, your vision for yourselves as educators and practitioners, your adventurous action research projects are all inspired by some kind of futures thinking and vision, an impulse within you and our broader world. If you don't take time to consider your vision for the future, it will be difficult to manifest. The practice of the wild and envisioning mountains walking depend on futures thinking and creating visions for advancing connectedness to nature. So here are a few final thoughts. When you're faced with challenges and settling into a new home place, look into the past and carefully bring it to life in your present and your future. Experience interdependence. Avoid plant blindness at all costs. Spend more time playing in nature. Observe your home closely, reflect, and draw in your journal. Take photos, and maybe even cultivate a sense of belonging and shared environmental identity through your social media posts. It can work. We can do this. Take time to craft visions for your practice of the wild and your future experiences of mountains walking. I thank you all again for this special opportunity to share my thoughts with you during this celebration. And now I'll turn it over to Jamie and her gift of poetry.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who I don't know, I'm Jamie Squires. I'm the Director of Graduate Programs and Senior Faculty Advisor here at Walking Mountains, which basically means I'm the person they've been complaining about for the last year. Before I get started, I have a few things that... Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Just a couple things that I want to say before I get started. First, I want to thank everybody who has helped to make this a wonderful night. Kim, thank you very much for your words of wisdom. That was really inspiring, and it's wonderful to have you back, even if it's only for a short time. I want to thank the folks that helped to make this a special evening. Thank you to Sherry for all your help. You really helped to make this a unique and special night. See you, Sherry. Thank you to everybody else. I know I'm going to forget people, but thank you to Markian for your participation, your help. Lara and Chris and Cassie Jo and Dustin, Katie, you too, yes. And thank you to Chris for the photographs, as always. And then I also want to thank the people who help make the graduate program run on a day-to-day basis. Cassie Jo and Dustin serve as inspirational role models out in the field day to day. So thank you to both of you. And I also have to give a special shout out to Chris Cohen. I always call her my partner in crime. Chris, thank you for always remembering the things that I forget. And I almost forgot Paul. Thank you for your help with this. Indispensable. We wouldn't be able to hear me at all without him. All right, so before I begin my poem tonight, I just have a few things that you need to know. The first is that I am not a poet. I make no claims of being a poet, But about 10, 12 years ago, I decided to write my goodbye speech as a poem. And when I finished, one of the new fellows said, "Oh, I can't wait to hear our graduation poem." And I guess that's how traditions are born. But it has become a really fun way for me to say goodbye to the fellows. It's kind of my half love letter, half roast. But they are very special people, and so this is a way to pay tribute to them. And just a couple things you should know before I begin the poem. And one is that you may know this group calls themselves Popcorn, which came from their shared love of popcorn and also from their initials of their first names: Kaylin, Anna, Rachel, and Natalie. Popcorn. Yes, thank you. They'll have time. And then the other thing that you should know is there was one piece of work that was particularly influential in with this group of graduates, and that was Dr. Robin Wall Kimmerer's Braiding Sweetgrass. So you'll hear a little bit about that in the poem. The rest of the inside jokes you'll have to ask them about. And it's not short, so get comfortable. The Popcorn Forest. Beyond the rat race is a magical place where wildflowers are queen. The sunlight reflects, making mystical flecks that float through the trees tall and green. The wildflowers sprawl, friendship grows tall, and laughter rises up in a chorus. This meadowed glade with its forested shade, I've named the Popcorn Forest. And deep in this wood is a special kind of good, a team who will rise to the task. Like a bouquet of flowers with potent powers, their talents and skills won't be masked. Each plant has a role, a strength and a goal, its story and own kind of truth. And so does Popcorn, they're writing their yarn with a zest that is reserved for youth. An educator's days can get lost in the craze of standards and long definitions, but to maintain the thrill in rain or uphill takes love and a kind disposition. It's easy to stray, get lost in the fray, but Popcorn stayed true to their course, imparting the lore of seed and of spore, living the words they endorse. This team's quite unique, with a clear wild streak and a love of the land that they share. A team through and through, their own kind of zoo, conformity in the crosshairs. Their joy is contagious, their goals courageous, and they each have their own kind of light. Like plants in the field with their talents revealed, we know they will stay in the fight. Natalie. Natalie's flower, a symbol of power. Potentilla means loyal and strong. She's strong like an ox and fast off the blocks, coming in first in the throng. Despite her agility, she oozes humility. She'd never brag or boast. But her sneakers pay the cost. Their smell got them tossed in the shower by her Cuban host. She's grounded and rooted, the garden executed. With her hands in the dirt, she's at ease. She brings a perspective that's deeply reflective. She listens to earth and to trees. But you'd never guess of her special success of creating new games impromptu. And how do you play? Any old way. Natalie plays how she wants to. Loyal, devoted, kind, and promoted. Natalie's a teammate with style. Up before dawn with nary a yawn, and you know she will last the whole mile. Or just for kicks, she'll go 26. It's her birthday with beast mode anew. But before you leave, don't be naive and bring Doug to go number 2. Our favorite nomad, she just needs a pad, a place to lay down her head. Natalie, I'm worried. You seem so unhurried to trade in your car for a bed. But you've passed the field test, and I trust you know best what it takes to make your heart soar. Keep your hands in the soil, and like the cinquefoil, you brighten our lives evermore. Rachel. In Kimmerer's book, she takes a close look at the strawberry plant as a gift. Little bursts of sweetness in seasonal fleetness, like Rachel, they make our hearts lift. With a heart made of gold, she's kind and she's bold, with a fierceness you'd never suppose. Defending shorts in the cold and shoes open-toed. Just don't make fun of her clothes. Rachel's a doll with just enough gall to burp out the ABCs. Her imagination and clear French dictation quickly put students at ease. She's funny, ridiculous, but careful, meticulous. She crosses her T's and dots all her I's. A Photoshop master, but don't put one past her, or you might see your face compromised. A crochet machine with wrists on caffeine, an auntie who's one of the best. Cat's captain and skipper help keep her chipper, but maybe a little obsessed. To help keep her composure, it takes weekly exposure to yoga and poses serene. Warrior 1 for the buns and 2 for the guns, and that's why she's kind and not mean. She's open and honest, kind-hearted and modest, with a penchant for strange things to munch. The foods you're ingesting force me to question if a sweet potato can be a lunch. Our premier volunteer, the first one to cheer, Rachel's too good to be true. The best jumping bean, our trampoline queen, and Rachel, we're going to miss you. Kaylin. Bright bursts of yellow like our New York fellow. The buttercup lightens your heart. Symbolizing humility, joy, positivity. It's a flower of magic and art. A New York native who's wild and creative, Kaylin marches to her own special beat. On the island of Alaska, is that next to Nebraska? Details just take a back seat. With youthful exuberance that's invariably humorous, Kaylin's joy always shines through. But sometimes her focus goes hocus pocus, and she nods like she's listening to you. With a mushroom obsession and a coffee cup collection, Kaylin's always up for a beer, be it with sunglasses on, be it midday or dawn, making sounds that no one should hear. A New Yorker in the wild with the heart of a child, she ventured out into the desert. What was she thinking? Were you even drinking? A map and some water wouldn't hurt. On your last solo hike, what did it feel like? Did dehydration make things surreal? And did you bring food, or was your view skewed by the veggie straws you call a meal? Kaylin's leaving a void, but we're glad you're employed. We're certain that you will go far. In your future transactions, just don't use contractions, and stay true to who you are. Keep that childlike joy, the wisdom you deploy from SpongeBob Under the Sea. And since he can't be outdone, goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you in therapy. Anna. As the sun spreads its rays, the sunflowers gaze, lazily wasting the days away. They're in no hurry to wallow and worry. Like Anna, they just want to play. Fearless and wild, this true flower child loves to spend time in the forest. At a game of Catan and an ice-cold beer can, and her soul is finally nourished. A searcher, a quester, a wilderness nester, Anna's at home in the trees. She sleeps in the dirt, and no one gets hurt as long as there's plenty of cheese. Cheddar or Swiss, baked brie for true bliss. It's cheese that Anna loves best. But Jason comes close. He even proposed, and he always brings a keg for the fest. A music trip charter, a free-flowing farter. Anna doesn't miss much. Especially a meal is that hunger she feels, mac and cheese to get her to lunch. Once meals are planned with cheese fresh or canned, high alpine lakes are her jam. And when days are sunshiny, she tans her hiney and posts it on her Instagram. Standing apart with your head and your heart, you're kind and you're smart as hell. Stay a groover, a rover, but don't dream it's over. There's another story still yet to tell. Friends lighten the load over rivers and roads, and Anna is one of the best. All we ever knew is you're strong and you're true, and we'll miss your passion and zest. The conclusion, which everybody knows is important. A master's degree, bringing days so carefree, graduation applauds your hard work. Remember the lessons, the long endless sessions, finding the light in the murk. But the degree's just the start, be careful, be smart, and learn from the land like the dock. The great Dr. Kimmerer asked us to consider her ideas and to learn sweetgrass talk. So I looked to the scenery, and deep in the greenery, I found the wisdom I sought, the careful alignment and gentle refinement of plants and the lessons they taught. Botanical beauty, both flowery and fruity, makes me think Popcorn got it right. They each have their talents, and together they balance. This team has their own kind of light. 2 years go by, in the blink of an eye, though research can make it seem more. But despite the time, the mountains you've climbed, it's time to enjoy the splendor. I wish you the best. You've left me impressed, 'cause Popcorn, you've put in the hours. Thank you, my friends, for changing the lens and reminding me to smell wildflowers. So now it's time to award the diplomas. Lara and Kim, would you come join me up here? And the fellows will have an opportunity to say a few words if they'd like when we call them up. So, in alphabetical order. Rachel Urich.
Oh, maybe. Is this thing on? Oh, okay. There's a board. All right. I wear a beaver costume weekly and I don't get scared, but for some reason right now, I'm scared. But February 1st, 2023. Dear Big Rach, this is past you. Right now, you are hopped up on cheese and post-grad laughter. You are talking about publications, beginnings, and endings. Laughing about Jamie reading free articles in her free time and breaking down barriers with the school board. I couldn't help but look around and be filled with so much joy. This is how I got to spend the past 2 years and 3 months of my life. Sure, there were ups and downs, but these moments are what you'll hold on for the rest of your life. And now look at us. We're graduating. You are graduating with some of the most amazing people in your life. Natalie, thank you for bringing adventure into my life. Sorry. Anna, thank you for showing me what a strong, confident woman looks like. Kaylin, thank you for showing me how to be brave and try new things. Whew. Sorry, I got this from Jamie. Jamie cries so much. I've got to see these crazy women transform. Small changes, like instead of saying, hey, I'm walking here, to, hi, how are you? Have a good hike. To big changes like starting a new job and going after their dreams. Without these three, my time here wouldn't be the same. This has been the most magical part of the fellowship. The people you get to grow with. This is probably also the hardest part of the fellowship, the splitting ways and growing on our own. However, I know I will have these three in my life forever. Thank you to the family, friends, teachers, mentors, everyone that supports this Foley Graduate Fellowship. It's why I'm here. I'm writing this letter 7 months out, and I'm already filled with so much gratitude. I had the same gratitude when I got accepted. Jamie, thank you for guiding us through the Action Research Project. You were really put through the ringer. Insert comma, insert apostrophe. Chris, Thank you for being the fiery spirit of our program. Dustin and Cassie Joe, thank you for answering our billions of questions and listening to our weird stories in the pod, whether you wanted to or not. This opportunity was life-changing. I cannot say that more. I think these ladies would say the same thing. So thank you everyone for being here and supporting us along this journey.
Anna, Kira.
Okay, cool. Wow, it is so. Oh, hold on. I was sitting there thinking how crazy it is to have so many people I love all in the same place, and I feel very lucky to be here and have all of you here with us. Kim, I was also thinking while you were speaking, sitting here and looking around, this place has never looked more beautiful to me, so thank you. Leading up to graduation, I've been filled with so many emotions. I'm sad to be saying goodbye to all the people who have made this place a home. At the same time, I'm so excited to start a new chapter of my life. And honestly, I'm feeling a little relieved. Who knew going to graduate school and working full-time would be so hard? Being both a teacher and a student these past 2 years, it's taught me more than I ever expected. I've learned about Colorado's geologic timeline, the processes that shape our mountain weather. I've experienced light and sound waves firsthand, but most importantly, I've learned that it all starts with the sun. I've also learned that living, working, grad schooling, and playing with the same people every day can come with its challenges. However, it's the best way to turn friends into family. Popcorn, teaching and learning with you and growing these past 2 years has been such an honor. I can't imagine this experience without you. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished, and I can't wait to see where life takes us next. Marinators, thank you for coming in with a spark, trusting us and teaching us. I can't wait to hear about the magic that you all carry on. Good luck with those action research projects next year. It's your turn now. Jamie and Chris, thank you for everything. I also want to thank the rest of the people here who have shown me love and support throughout this experience. Thank you to my family, both old and new, for encouraging me to take the leap for this fellowship and for all your love and support throughout this process. And Jason, thank you for your unending support and all the ways you've held me up. From cooking dinner and to always listening, I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. It really means the world to us.
Kaylin Murphy.
Oh, you did it again. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Here we go. Yes. Congratulations. Okay, cool. Is this thing on? Anyone hear that? No. Let's see. Is this thing on? All right. Damn. Okay. So, naturally, Rachel and Anna had speeches prepared. Me and Natalie don't. And that pretty much sums up our 2 years and 3 months here. These three have become my whole life. They are, I don't know what I would do without them, truly. They are my best friends, my support system, and my family. And I would like to thank my family for telling me I would be stupid for not taking this opportunity. Because, boy, they were right. I was just living in Brooklyn before this, and I was like, I've never been to Colorado before. And my dad told me, run, don't walk. And I listened, and I'm happy I did, because everyone I have met here has become my community. I've never had a community like this before. And I am just really, really grateful for these three and everyone else I have met here, the Marinators, my popcorns, Jamie, Chris, Dustin, Cassie Jo, Lydia, everyone who is in, Helen, Riley, and Trisha, who are all here today. Just the generations of fellows. I have never met anyone like you before, and it feels insane to share so many experiences with you all, and I'm grateful for it every day. And with new beginnings come endings, and boy, new beginnings are fun. Here we go. Cheers to more new beginnings and having these people in my life.
Natalie Neuwirth.
Okay, speech number 2, not prepared. Just wanted to express some gratitude of this place. I think, Anna, you're right. Looking over there, it looks a little different tonight than other nights. We may be a little bit of an emotional bunch, but it's for a reason. These three are. Whoa, give me a second. All right. Thank you for coming here tonight. I'll make it a little more formal. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Chris. Dustin, Cassie, Joe, just thank you everyone who's involved. Thank you, Carrie, for everything you've done. The gratitude is overwhelming being here. When I first signed up for this, my dad thought it was a complete scam. There's no way that you could get a free master's, you could teach something that you loved, and just have all of the benefits of being here. So, I'm really grateful for everything. It's not a scam. Please sign up. I just wanted to, again, express some gratitude for these three ladies and everyone who has helped me here. I was a nomad for 5 years before coming here. I did my interview on a Starbucks on an island, and, I didn't think this was going to be possible. So just coming here, meeting you three, it's the best part of it. Sorry. We're emotional. Just want to thank everyone for being here, all my friends, my family who've flown out. And thank you.
All right. So to finish the night off, we have a champagne toast up on the patio. If you could all come join us up there, and we will toast the graduates. Thank you.